This is Boxing Tickets NI. It's 2024. This is our second interview of today. It's actually going to go out tomorrow, Wednesday. But obviously, it's the first time I've spoke to you since the new year. So happy New Year to you first of all, Pierce.
Happy New Year, Steve. Yeah, Happy New Year. How's things?
It's things are fantastic. I guess we're just after this Christmas and New Year rush now, where everybody's getting fight news announced. Obviously, everything sort of seems to come very, very quickly. I think I've put out about 10 fight announcements this week already. So I guess that's boxing. But like it doesn't seem like so long ago since you were last on. We obviously spoke to you before your last fight with Kane Gardner. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem like that was over nearly 3 months ago or so now. But I guess obviously a good reflection looking back. It was, I guess if probably anybody looked at that on paper and thought you'd have went through him easy enough. He had spells where he was sort of putting you under pressure in the fight.
Um, I'm not saying he put me under pressure. It was. I think I had a bit of a flat round where he thought he was getting some success. But I knew I wanted to go back to the corner, reset myself. That into my second gear then, and time to go through the gears then, and that was really it. And that's exactly what I done. I was putting back in his stride. As soon as I caught that left hook, he didn't want to know for the rest of the fight then.
They also the cut. I think it was you had a cut sort of midway through the sort of fight. Was that sort of is that your first time you've been cut as a pro, or have you been cut before?
Nah, I've been cut a couple of times, but the cut came from a head clash, and literally straight away I couldn't actually see it. My eye went or got a bit blurred. I couldn't really see where he was, so I just took a step back, reset myself, and he was on top of me again. So just had to be smart and use that round as um, recovery and experience. Like just take your time, don't do anything stupid, hit and move, and that's what I done. And as soon as I started doing that, then I actually started getting more joy. I said, "This is actually working in my favour here." So, which is like as soon as I started doing that, then everything was all coming off the jab, punch selections just coming a lot better. People got to see how good my head movement was and stuff like that. So I said, "Listen, just let's keep doing this." And went back out the sixth round. Started off the way I started the fight, fast and fresh again, and that was it. He didn't want to know the rest of that round.
It's obviously sometimes when you get cut, and we've obviously seen since your fight, obviously Dennis McCann's fight in your call was obviously a head clash and the damage that done. Do you sort of prepare for them sort of moments where head clashes and things where you sort of nearly have to be overprotective with a sort of hand and stuff like that as well? Does it change anything in a fight for you?
Yeah, you could think like that, but that's why you need to have belief in the team because they're the ones that are going to stop the cut fight. They'll like a minute should be enough time for it to stop a good cut. And I've seen boxers with maybe four slits cuts on the eye or one eyelid. So and they're going back out fresh again. So yeah, I don't really worry about the cuts. Cuts ain't really a problem for me.
And obviously it was a good 10 rounds, I guess, more than anything as you're starting to step up. You had only 2 fights last year, obviously one in Belfast, which was obviously a first round job. So I guess when you sort of look back on last year, it was good to get 10 rounds with Kane Gardner as you progress, because obviously I'm guessing this year as we're sort of going to come into, we're probably stepping up even further again. So a good 10 rounds, I guess probably it saves people from just thinking you're all about knockouts.
Yeah, that's a lot of people just talk about knockouts now, but then he's saying a different style. Then he's saying like I developed like not a new style, but I developed like patience and shot selections a lot more better than I would have in the past. But that was like coming from the amateurs straight into the pros where like it's a different pace. Everything's all different. It's not like one speed at a time like the amateurs where it's three trees. You know what I mean? You've got time here. So that was only like that's the only problem that we could have seen of anyways. Yeah, and now just going forward is all about stepping up. Like at the moment, I feel like I'm a little bit behind because I only got 2 fights in last year, and I should have had 3 or 4, So I kind of been a bit back at the moment. But this year we plan to get good fights in that will set me up now for 2025 into like world titles.
And obviously since then, obviously we've got Christmas and New Year and everything else, but obviously you announced there, obviously was it last week that obviously you've now relocated to Liverpool. There obviously was no fallout with obviously A box gym. Can you obviously tell us more on sort of why the moves come about?
Yeah, it was just like it was always like in the back of my mind, like where I was never really settled. I was settled, but I was never really. I was settled in the gym. The gym was like home. Like everyone in the gym, like they were all like family. And every time we left that gym, just going home to a place where I actually couldn't call home. So that was the that was my biggest reason. You know what I mean? I was just like said to myself, I couldn't do the nitty gritty stuff no more. And that was literally it. And then after that, we were looking for places to rent. Like and the prices were insane, insane. Like especially as I said, like especially living in two major cities, London and Dublin. Like there's a housing crisis back home in Dublin, and then you have another. Then you have you're living in one of the most expensive cities, which is for rent is London. So I've got a family back home. I've got like need to put food on the table. So you like saying to yourself, what do I do here? Like, do we stay here, keep pissing against the wind, or do we move somewhere that was a little bit cheaper, good, still great trainers, and to be honest with you, it actually feels like home. Like it feels like only around the corner because that's how close it is, like to Dublin. And like the flight's only 25 minutes, so it's door to door. It take me 1 hour and 15 minutes, so it's easy. You know, that's a train journey for most people into work every morning, so it's easy for me. But yeah, the rent is bleeding half the price.
I, gue-
So
I was going to say that
like
sort of with you obviously having a young family and stuff as well. Like even though you're a boxer and people have this myth that every boxer's a millionaire, and obviously 99% of boxers will tell you it's lies, but for you with a young family and stuff as well, you're having to think for the future as a professional boxer. You're probably having to think for life after boxing and everything else, even though it's a good bit away. But you have to think of your young child growing up and you want to be able to provide for them. And by you being in
if
London, the costs weren't going to be, you couldn't plan anything.
cost not a problem, and a cost wasn't the problem. I was just like there was no even feelings even involved in like of it, like because I knew what I was doing for my family and what was the most important thing. Like they get her a house to secure her because, as you know, I can happen boxing, and like and never and did series ever happen, like who's gonna put the food on the table? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, so I needed to do what was best for me, and yeah, literally, like I think it was a great move, personally, you know. So we're just gonna go from here now and just keep the plans what we always did.
I guess in some ways it's obviously good at the fact you've Keevan and obviously Gary Cully there as well. I'm guessing you've obviously had been involved with the amateur setup growing up as well, so you're very familiar with each other. So I guess it's good when you have familiar faces when you move to a new gym. Helps you to settle in very quickly.
Yeah, well, I always knew of John and Dick. Anyways, John McNally and Dick, we always knew those roles, and here we are here now at the moment. You know, it's boxing's a mad sport, and it'll take it all around the world. It's just crazy.
It is, and there's plenty of memories. Obviously, I can still remember your debut in the Ulster Hall, which was what just over 4 years ago. I think now 2019, just before COVID sort of happened. So
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy when you could sort of maybe look back at even your career and sort of look back at pictures of yourself a couple of years ago, and you're going, "Who's that guy?" You can't imagine how quickly he can progress in the sport.
progress. That's yeah. Like even like looking back now at the moment, like I thought like I mean, proud debut till now. I said, Jesus Christ, I learned so much. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like as like going back, like the change to Liverpool, that was the like that's what we done, and I thought like it was a good fit, you know, like and we're all happy now, you know what I mean? Like the missus happy, like she can come over here in the summer when she gets there's a fast boat which is only an hour away, so straight to Liverpool. Like it's just so convenient for us, you know what I mean? And it's closer to home, you know, it's easy. And if I like the flights are cheaper, you know, so rather than paying 150 quid, say to get a flight, return flight to London. Like say if I booked it the next day, if I book an hour for to go home, like say tomorrow or Friday, say for example, it'd be mad money. Like where it's only like what, 60 quid, 40 quid, if even. Do you know what I mean? And it's cheap as chips. So yeah, I think it's just it's benefit me, you know. So and she's happy, my daughter's happy, I'm happy.
And here that's only going to help your boxing moving forward as well. It takes a bit less stress and less worry off you and going, what can I do for this? You can plan things more now, say as well. And you know, not that people's been dazzled by as a pro so far as well. So if that can add an extra 5 or 10% to your game, your opponent's best watch out.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, like I'm the one who's gonna be going home looking at four walls. Do you know what I mean? There's no one there with me, there's no one living with me, there's no one we're going home four walls, cook me on food, doing all that. So kind of done all the nitty gritty stuff, living over the pubs and stuff like that. Like damn places and stuff like that. Like I roughed it out, you know, so time to enjoy now. I'm trying to keep on pushing on and get motivated a lot more.
And obviously you're back in action, obviously in the 10th of February in the Copper Box Arena. I guess what you're saying, you obviously want to have a busy year, obviously looking for about 4 fights this year. It's good to get one out of the way very early in February. You know, we're seeing obviously TNT at the moment. You know, you've used that fight, you obviously had the Day of Reckoning card. There's a lot of stuff happening in Saudi Arabia. So for you to get a fight early on in February before all that commotion, then obviously April, May time again, you'll be ready to go again.
Yeah, that is the plan. So we plan on getting back out end of April, early May. And then probably back out again then probably late July. And then go away in the sun and probably come back then again October maybe even late September, early October, and back out at the end of December. If that works, please God, like if no injuries and no major injuries and anything like that, like because you know how tough it is when you get through a camp. Do you know what I mean?
Just picking us back up with Piercy, unfortunately tried to disconnect the call and disconnected us instead. But Pierce, you were sort of saying there, obviously, you know, about your plans for the year. I think we got the October before it cut out. Obviously, I'm not sure if you're aware, but you're currently ranked 18th in the last WBC ranking as well. So, do you sort of look at these rankings as a sort of as like a goal, sort of moving forward, where you know maybe by the end of 2024 you want to be top 15, top 10, top 5? Do you sort of keep an eye on the ratings regularly?
I don't, I don't really, but after the fight I do, you know. I'll always check and I'll always be like on my manager and see where I am and see where I'll be getting pushed to and stuff like that. So I do, and that's one of my major goals is hit that like get a really really high ranking in WBC. That's what I'm focused on. So yeah, and just go from there because once you're ranked there, then that's it. Then you're up. You know, it's only a matter of time you get caught. I'm not sure.
And obviously, I've seen obviously your manager, Francis Warren, obviously after your last fight was sort of, you know, I think somebody was mentioning your Adam Azim's and your Dalton Smiths and stuff like that, where they were sort of saying that you're sort of ready for that. Is them sort of fights you would like to push towards this year? I know you're not someone to call anybody out. You're always very respectful in what you do, but is this you now pushing towards European level, you know, where you maybe look at these fights in 2024? I guess it's money talk sort of
Well,
thing.
yeah, well, we want to. That's what we want this year. We want to fight for European titles. So, if that is the case, if any one of those has that belt, well, then that's where the clash is going to happen. You know. So, yeah, that's really it. Like literally, playing. I think 2024 is going to be my year, and it's going to be a big year, and I want to be active. I just want to stay on top of things and keep stay in the gym, keep working with Declan, John, John, and keep building that bond a little bit closer and get more trust, which I fully have trust now in them, you know, because I've been around them now long enough, just the two of us, three of us and whatnot, and can't complain really, you know, I can't complain at all. So yeah, that's the plan: is keep on pushing and get them big fights.
Just want to throw a wee bit of a curveball at you here. Obviously, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn's been obviously teaming up, obviously with the Day of Reckoning card, and they're obviously teaming up with you like Fury and AJ and Ngannou. What about obviously the possibility? I guess I know it's an instant yes, but obviously if the opportunity came about where Cameron, you know, Taylor Cameron 3 happens at Croke Park, well, that would obviously be something that you would try and push towards. You know, I know it's a foregone conclusion, but you know, just to throw it in there that the potential of obviously a fighting in Croke Park and Taylor Cameron 3 this year, that'd be one you'd be all up for.
Yeah, of course. Why not? That's my backyard. Why not? Don't say. I literally don't say why not. You know, like if you fight for the WBA belt, it might upset the WBC at the moment. You know, so you need to be a bit smart with what you're gonna do. But yeah, listen, that why not? I actually wait to answer like ask that question I am at the moment. You know, so I think that be when is that? Is that May?
I think they're looking around May time. I think it's either potentially the Viva or Croke Park, but obviously, when you know that the working relationship's starting to build between Frank Warren and obviously and Eddie Hearn and Matchroom and stuff now,
Yeah,
that there's a potential ever crossover fights and everything else. So it's something, I guess, it'll suit your time frame, obviously, from fighting next month.
that's
If
it. Yeah,
you knew then you were potentially going to be on that card, you would take an extra couple of, take a couple of days less off to get back into camp for it.
definitely 1 million%. Listen, I don't take days off, but I still train every day. Even after the fight, I'll probably take a day or two off and then keep training. But sometimes you need to be a little bit smart because all the miles done in camp, it's actually done in the fight, so you need to let your body recover from the camp itself. And but yeah, listen, that fight, like if that opportunity comes, I don't see why not. He wouldn't want 2,000 tickets gone, would he? So
That's you probably been modest as well. You probably sell more than 2,000.
I could sell more, but just yeah, I could actually do more easily. Yeah. So it's a mistake. It's business. I mean, that's the way he looks at it as well. It's business. So if he can put one of his own fighters on over here and not make money on tickets, he can stick me on, make 3-4 times the amount. Why not?
You would even fight twice in the same night if he had to.
Well, listen, if I'm selling them tickets for him, he's pretty much getting a free fight, isn't he? So that's the way I look at it.
It definitely is. But look, obviously, I know we had only planned for about 10 minutes, and I think we've got to be 20 minutes out of you. Obviously, it's great to get a catch up. Obviously, I think it was August or September was the last we spoke. But hopefully, obviously, I know you're a month out now from obviously your next fight. No opponent lined up yet.
Yeah, we have a few opponents lined up. We're just waiting to see which is the crack is to pretty much confirmed. So just like to be out to the public soon.
Definitely. Well, listen, obviously, well, thank you very much for your time, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you very soon, Pierce.
Brilliant. Thanks very much. Appreciate it, pal.
Cheers, Pierce. Take care. Thanks.
No worries.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.